The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Hope you had a long weekend, nice long weekend out there. We come back to the market, and man, we got some fireworks. We got the S&Ps down 108 points. You were at a low of 68.47 this morning. We're going to have a wild market today, digesting, of course, tariffs for Europe based on Greenland, based on the Nobel Peace Prize. Couldn't put it out without even chuckling, man. This is the world we're living in. Markets down. S&P 1.6%. NASDAQ 100. We were down 2%. We're down 1.8% right now. 460 points. You got Japan going on this morning as well. We'll jump over to Japan in a moment. Dow off 1.5%, off 722 points, 48,825. And how about the Russell? Making new highs recently, the leader. And yeah, the volatility off 2% right now. 26.38. The Russell right now, almost 3% from where it was at the highs of Friday. Bitcoin off $4,500, off 4.7% right now. We jump to yields. So here's the problem, right? Equities are crashing, but it's not like they're selling and they're buying fixed income. Okay, that is not what's going on this morning, man. There's lower prices, higher yields. The 10-year is at 4.29. How's that for you? Yeah, 4.29. The dollar, there's your destruction of the dollar, from 99.06 to 98.53. And yeah, how about metals, man? Gold up by 3.2%, 47.54. All-time highs this morning. You jump over to silver, $95, up 7.3%. We were at $87. We were at 87. Nope, we have an 86 handle. Give me the price. 86.57 on Friday. And you got up to 94.36 last night on that spike high. And then you got up to, no, come on, 95.78. So more than $9. Yeah. 86.57 to 95.78 from Friday to today. My goodness, remarkable. Silver up by 7.3%, all-time highs. Platinum up $86, up 3.7% right now. 24.10. We jump over to copper. Not for copper. Copper flat at 581. You jump over the VIX. How's that for you? Could be higher. Right now, we came into Friday at 16. Markets closed yesterday for Martin Luther King Day. We spiked to 19, and we're at 20.28 right now. All things considered, you could see a higher VIX. That's not as high as we're going to get, I think, today as this volatility. Think about the price that you need to hedge against market volatility today. Ooh, I would be needing some serious premium to be selling somebody options today. Let's put it that way, right? VIX at 20. Seems like we're ready for some volatility, man. All right, we jump over to some of the headlines. The calm, yeah, Greenland and Japan. Now we'll jump over to Japan, okay? Sudden Japan bond crash unleashes turmoil on the trading floors. Yeah, the selling of Japan's $7.6 trillion bond market began slowly, and then you talk about an acceleration, man. How's this acceleration? And look at this spike that we got going on. Okay, and that's your 40-year at the top. The 40-year, 30 years in yellow. This is Japan's long maturity bonds have been soaring as of late, and you are taking off now. Yeah. Let's see if this one links to it, does it? Yeah, this is the article I have right here. Okay, the Japan bond meltdown sends yields to record high on fiscal fears. And yeah, this is what can happen when you got fiscal fears, folks. And boy, we got yields going up in America right now. Okay, and we jump over to the yen. Now, there's your volatility on the yen, okay, from 157 to 158, but it's really about the bonds over there, okay, more than the currency. But a lackluster auction of a 20-year underscored worries that the government is spending in inflation. No one wants to buy the debt. Give me a higher interest rate. The 40-year rocketed past 4%. 40-year at 4%. Not that Doesn't seem high, but you got to remember Japan was at 0% for like ever. Now they got their 4-year skyrocketing, highest since its debut in 2007. Yeah, the jump in the 30 and 40-year yields of more than 25 basis points. 25 basis points. So you got an acceleration going on. Yeah, insurers sell record amount of super long bonds. Look at this. Net purchases of Japanese super long bonds. Nobody wants them. There's no sign of the BOJ stepping in with their unlimited bond buying tool, which is in reserve. We'll see, man. That bond market's always bigger than the equity market. Same goes for over in Japan. And boy, you never know really what's going to happen when you have... They've been in 0% for so long. All right? You look at this chart, man. That's your dollar yen. We jump back to the dollar. So we hit this trend line in 98.40. You know, what's remarkable is we've been chopping on this trend line, right? And hey, as long as it holds this trend line, it's an upward trend. But we got like this little triangle pattern here where 100's the top part of this channel and ever so up more. And that line, folks, is a line that goes back to 2008. Now, where exactly is that line, right? Is it in, where do you put this line exactly? Okay. But we are right at the bottom portion of that trend line, and that's on a monthly going back to 2008. You put things on a daily, and we literally almost touched that point, $98.25 off 84 ticks. And boy, it's going to be a wild day of trading, digesting the potential for tariffs across the board on Europe with regards to Greenland. And, you got Davos going on. Trump's going to be at Davos. I believe tomorrow's the day, right? He's making a speech. It'll be during market hours. Then yeah, there's not much more to say than what's out there, right? I'm sure we've all read the president's letter at this point, alluding to the fact that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, so now he's not interested in peace, and he wants Greenland, and he'll do whatever he wants, and that's what he wants. And he's putting tariffs on Europe until everyone agrees. You take it at face value, and the market is reacting today. You better believe it. We jump over to the euro US dollar. So we got euro strength, dollar weakness. Euro, we spiked to 117. We were at 115 and change on Friday. You almost just hit 118, 117.68. Let's take a look at it on daily. And just like the dollar's on the verge of breaking a trend line to lower prices and weakness, you got the euro pushing higher prices. So much for parity, man. 117, we're pushing higher. Euro right now, 117.23. And as we come into the first break, we jump over to the VIX, 2028. I think we might see the VIX go higher today. We will find out, won't we? All right, folks, stay tuned. S&P's in the red, metals higher. We'll come right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Apologies. Welcome back, folks. Had myself muted during the break there somehow. S&P's off 109, and we jump over to natural gas. How about it? Up 27%, almost $4 for natural gas, $3.95 from almost $3 on Friday. You see the volatility late last year, early this year, right? You run up to a high of $5.49. We're back. You talk about volatility. That's your daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. How's that for volatility? Right, from $2.62 to $5.50, back to $3. Today we're at $4 in a day. And there's your 15-minute acceleration. It's not stopping. $3.99 was the high. And, yeah, we got some cold weather, man. Enjoy it when I can in Florida. But, boy, we got like 35-degree mornings in Florida consistently. We're going off for the next week. Try and enjoy it. But, yeah, I imagine, not imagine, right? You watch some of those football games this weekend. Woo, the snow. Man, how about those games? How about those Patriots? Oh, that Bears game. Quite a game. And then how about the national championship last night? Indiana, Mendoza, man, it was so cool to watch. Cinderella story. Mendoza with his interviews afterwards. If you didn't check out his interview after the game, you could say for almost any game he's played. Inspiring stuff, that whole team. But yeah, a lot of snow this weekend, right? But natural gas, man. Take a look at the volume. It's 9:20 in the morning, and we've already done 220,000 contracts, 218 to be exact. All right, we got the whole market in the red right now. NASDAQ 100 is off by 480. You got Amazon down about $6. We jump over to the big dog, NVIDIA, NVDA. You're going to open at about 181, down about $5 for NVIDIA. Microsoft pushing 450 from 459. Google, and the strongest one out there, down by $9 on the open to 321. Meta shares off $14. We still got the VIX at about 2038 right now. You jump over to Netflix shares. In the green. They're up in their ante to all cash. There's your volatility there on Netflix. You're higher to 89.32 right now on Netflix. And yeah, they amend their deal for all cash. Now, part of the remarkable part here about this is that when they originally made the offer for Warner Brothers, that deal was for cash and stock. Well, what's the value of that stock done since they made that announcement? Right? I don't know the day they did. We have to look into it. But man, the value of the stock that they proposed using just keeps dropping. Now, that's going to change because they amend it. It's an all-cash deal. And yeah, they keep the pressure on. $27.75 straight cash. $72 billion. Now, remember, they still get to spin off the cable networks as part of this deal. And that's not the case for Warner Brothers Discovery, and that's what the board keeps stressing. So Netflix in the green when the market's getting hammered. We jump over to Warner Brothers Discovery. It's interesting, right? You're getting paid $27.75 straight cash. Plus you're getting the cable networks, right? So Warner Brothers Discovery right now at $28.50. As Paramount Skydance is not done with that one. Doesn't mean they have a chance, but they're going to do everything they can in court. $11.80. And if you're in Paramount, and I'm in it for the longer term, and boy, it's a heck of a pullback, but if you're in this speculative equity, and that's what this is, you better believe it. Okay, you're talking about Paramount Skydance. They bought Paramount for, what was it, like $7 billion? And then the next day, they signed a deal with the UFC that was worth more than the entire purchase of the company, basically, right? So you're dealing with an ultimate growth stock here. You're going to get some volatility, but I think longer term, you're in a max pain situation right now, although that doesn't tie in the market. The market's got some volatility for sure. All right, we jump over to Amazon. So talking about prices. Amazon's down $7. Okay, we take a look at the 5-minute. There's your action in the pre-market. And yeah, and this is where you're going to see, and this is what worries the Fed. Okay, among other things. You have Chairman Powell. He's going to be showing up in court to support the people on the Fed tomorrow. That's another story we'll get to. But Amazon CEO said, yeah, these tariffs, they're starting to creep into the prices on some items. Sellers are trying to absorb that. Amazon's trying to keep the prices as low as possible. And, of course, this is what he's going to say. Every retailer wants to raise prices, okay? But so you start to see some of the tariffs creep into some of the prices, some of the items, and you see some sellers are deciding that they're passing on those higher costs to consumers in the form of higher prices. Some are deciding they'll absorb it to drive demand, and some are doing something in between. I think you're starting to see more of that impact. So if it was easy to operate on lower margins, people would already be doing it. Absorbing market share, right? If the opportunity, it's the same thing as like 10% credit cards, right? If the opportunity was out there to business to come in and make money for 10% credit cards, business would already be doing it. If there was an opening where you could absorb clients, they'd already be doing it. So they might be absorbing the margins right now, but on a longer term basis, they have their set benchmarks, and those benchmarks were set prior to the rising cost of those. And hey, we'll see if as tariffs ratchet up even from there. Now, speaking of the Fed, we might get the name next week. Treasury Secretary says Trump's pick for the next Fed chair could happen next week. Yeah, my guess is the president will reach a decision maybe as soon as next week, and we'll see. It's all speculation until we actually get it, but that's what he said on Squawk Box this morning. We've had substantial conversation about this. We've run a process that started. The president personally met, and it's going to be his decision nonetheless. We'll see who it shakes out. Warsh is in the lead for sure. We'll see where we go from there. Fed in focus. And yes, Powell will be showing up to support his Fed governors as the political assault on the Fed continues. And man, if the goal is to get rates lower, it's not what's happening in this market right now. If anything, we're about to turn that corner to the next Fed chair. And boy, you're talking about lower price, higher yield on a 10-year perspective. And it's not stopping, man. That 10-year on these new tariffs, and the president, he's got a lot of room, okay? I mean, we were at a price tag less than a year ago, 4,800. We're at 6,800. You know, he's got the room to apply the pressure right now, even if markets pull back. And they're pulling back today off 110, but expect that VIX to rise today. 2030 so far on the VIX, up 7.7%. Our man Steve Rhodes always talks about that 10% number. We'll see if we can get that VIX going 10% today. S&P's off 110 points, 68.66. We got gold and silver at records. Natural gas is surging. Quite a day in the market. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Equities are open. We catch a lift in the first few seconds of trading. We'll see how the day plays out. But yes, they're buying it on the opening bell by 10 points in the S&Ps. We're down by 95 points, off 1.4% on the S&P 500 futures. NASDAQ 100, a little bit of a lift on the open. Down by 1.5%, Dow off 1.3% right now, and the Russell leading the way, off 1.5% right now. You were as low in the Russell, 2631. Bitcoin we're at lows. No buying on Bitcoin. Off almost 5% right now. Ethereum off 7% right now. You jump back to copper, down about 0.5% right now. They're talking about the copper miners. Freeport up by 0.8%. Southern Copper up by 0.2%. And yeah, some of those silver stocks. Whew. All right, so Hecla's up 4% today. Let's see. Silver right now up by 7%. You know, folks, these metals just keep lifting higher, okay? And they're getting a little bubblicious, and I'm not spreading fear out here, but you know, you wake up every day and yes, you start getting these types of craziness. Okay, we're talking about tariffs. We're talking about unilateral tariffs unless we get Greenland. Yes, there's obviously the opportunity for metals to go higher, the dollar to go weaker, yields to go up in America. But we're getting pretty lofty, and you see it on opens like this today where, excuse me, can't fault people for selling into some of this rally if you were fortunate enough to ride it up, man. Okay, let's look at some of the volume right now. Yeah, you get this week of December 15th. This is a weekly, okay? Look at the last 2 weeks of Hecla. Decent numbers, but not extraordinary for the price action. Right? December 15th, we were at $20. You get 2 holiday weeks, and then we come back in January with okay weeks. But you're trading above this area with dramatically lighter volume. Meanwhile, we just traded up from 20 to 28. You're up 40% from where you were on lighter volume. Okay, you're breaking above that acceleration. So be careful. And yeah, kudos to you if you've been holding. Now, First Majestic looks stronger than Hecla. Okay, look at that weekly volume we got last week. Doesn't mean that you won't get a rip-roaring pullback when it comes. Okay, but you know, you're looking to get in some of these, man. A nice pullback on lighter volume. But geez, the beginning of the year, you know, you got First Majestic just trading from $16 up to 23, folks. Okay, now I like the volume on First Majestic though more than I do Hecla. Look at that weekly volume, right? You compare it to the week of December 15th. That's the one that stuck out on Hecla. You're breaking higher, and you're doing it with accelerating volume every single week. Christmas, New Year's, January 5th, and last week the most of all as you push to highs. Excuse me. You jump around to some other equities. This is Harmony. Now, since that pullback in August, and check it out, lower volume. Okay, now we got a spike when you actually had, that was higher price last week. Yeah, it's a red candle, but you gapped higher. Okay, the prior week, January 5th, you close at 2069. Last week we closed at 2180. A bit of a spike, but you can see the trend. Lower volume numbers as you push higher, but Harmony up by 5.5% today. You take a look at the XAU, up by 3.6%. HUI similar, up by 4.3%. The one encouraging, not one, right? But man, the volume in silver is encouraging. On a weekly basis, that's what you like to see. It's not quite there on gold. Okay, you had quite the acceleration last week, but nothing compared to that acceleration you had in October on gold. So look at this. You got the chip stocks higher again. Micron's up by 2.9. I looked at that heat map. I said, is this real? Look at this. Man, these chip stocks, memory stocks, they're all higher again. So what's higher? You get some of the banks higher. Or some of the more speculative equities are lower. Whew. Palantir 3.5. Salesforce. What do you call them? Speculative growth, whatever you want to call them. UNH down 2.3% right now. Let's take a look at UNH. Nah, these are numbers for, is this numbers from Friday? Yeah, this hasn't reset yet. I apologize. The market's going to look a lot more red than that. I don't know how this works and why it doesn't reset sometimes when the market opens. Okay, disregard those. Somehow I feel like it takes 10 or 15 minutes for that heat map to actually work on the Thinkorswim platform sometimes. Unfortunate. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting one no matter what you think. Okay, tomorrow, whew, so you're going to get arguments in front of the Supreme Court. They'll hear arguments Wednesday, okay, for whether Trump can fire Ms. Cook, a Federal Reserve governor. And this is obviously going to stretch further than her. No president has attempted to remove a Fed governor in the 112-year history until Trump tried to fire Cook last August after Pulte tried digging through everything, right, to find anything he could. And he's got allegations at least, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, but boy, this one's going to be interesting, and you're going to have Powell in the audience Wednesday, and good for him for supporting it. He's under criminal investigation too. And no matter what you think about the Fed, folks, he shouldn't have to risk being locked up in a box by the feds, which is what jail is. You get locked up in a box, okay? He shouldn't have to risk being locked up in a box for being the Fed chair, okay? And that's where he is. So not hard to imagine that he's showing some support for the people. I mean, that's a criminal investigation that's underway that they received subpoenas for. It's a criminal investigation opened by the Fed. So he's going to be there. Things ratchet up. And yeah, I would imagine that, him being under criminal investigation and facing possible jail time, not given much choice to stand up for what's going on in terms of, a lot of attention paid to the fact that he's going to show up and support Cook, but not given much chance when he's facing jail time by the feds. But nonetheless, that's going to be tomorrow. And always interested in those oral arguments from the Supreme Court, no matter what. So that's going to be played out. And then, we get tariffs potentially. We may get them today, man. We're going to get that tariff decision at some point. And we'll see how that goes. But that's something hanging out over the market as well. Some of the volatility, right when you get to the edge that maybe we get some uncertainty alleviated, as in, okay, maybe the criminal investigation of Powell goes away. Maybe we get the new Fed chair nominated. Maybe the market moves forward. Now we're on to Greenland. And this market's going to need a little bit of stability to move forward if you're going to get the next leg higher. And right now that's not happening. Dollar off almost 85 pennies at 98.53. And yields pushing almost the highs at 4.29 on that 10-year. NVIDIA off by 3% right now. Google off by 2.1% right now. Microsoft 1.6. There's the heat map updating. Okay, that looks more like it. So look at it. Walmart and Procter & Gamble. That's your Dow. S&P 500. Look at it. That's what threw me off. Micron and Intel. Netflix. Walmart. ExxonMobil. Chubb Limited. These are some of the few equities that are higher today, folks. Seagate Technologies, SanDisk, Western Digital, ServiceNow, and we got some tiny ones in here. All right, we'll take a look at the NASDAQ 100 when we come back. Micron and Intel. S&P 500, Walmart. We'll take a look at Walmart. Walmart higher. This doesn't stop. Come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, they're running to safety, and the safety is not in fixed income for America, folks. They're not doing it. What are they doing? They'd rather buy Walmart equity, right? Imagine that, right? As they're selling equities, okay, they're not buying fixed income because of the risk present in that trade. They are buying Walmart. 1.2% to the upside for Walmart, up $1.44. And on a weekly basis, now we had, you always go in, there's your daily, okay? You pull this up. This happens occasionally when you get an options expiration. This thing had 346 million shares on the close coming into the long weekend, okay? So there's going to be, it doesn't mean it's not real, but it's an anomaly that you're looking at there, okay? But other than that, even if you take that week out of it, let's take a look at the monthly. Walmart's been remarkably strong, okay? Even take out that ridiculous volume. I mean, I just showed you. Look at this. On a monthly basis, you're getting 340. We did 346 million shares on the close on Friday, okay? But take out this month and look at the ramp up. That's not this. I'm just going to say, look at the ramp up in volume recently, right? From where you were in July at a price of about 100. Every month ramping up. September, you do 326. October, you do 348. You got nice extension in price on 391 shares in November. You push higher even during the holidays in December to all-time highs. And then, yeah, you're going to do it again. Now, Walmart, it's got a 1-to-1 at about $135 right now. And, if you think that the market's in a little bit of a worry right now, right? Maybe you're thinking, okay, we're now approaching this area. We're going to get more volatility. Maybe the tariff concerns come back in. Look at the stocks that are performing well today. If you want to remain in the market, that's where I'd be. Walmart's screaming, man. You're up by 1.5% today. And yeah, that heat map, I know, EKS. It's not 30 minutes, though. I appreciate the input, but maybe it even varies. Maybe it's a 10-minute. Either way, they have a delay, but it kicked in about 8-10 minutes. Here's your heat map. It's accurate now. You got red across the board. As I mentioned, some of those memory stocks, Micron, up by 3%. Intel, up by 3% as well. Let's check around to some of the banks. JP Morgan off about 2%. They got bad ticks all over the place, make these charts look funky. So down 2% on JP Morgan. Bank of America down by 0.8% right now. Citi off by 2.8. Goldman and Morgan Stanley, quite the accelerations on their numbers last week. Goldman off by 1.6. Morgan Stanley, again, some bad ticks, off by 2.3. Jump over to Target shares, down by 1.8%. Yeah, nothing like Walmart right now, man. Jump over to Costco. There you go, Costco, up by 0.25%. Let's take a look at these high flyers. So we get a pullback. Those last couple days, something to pay attention to. Robinhood, that is some selling, man. Look at the acceleration. You get that uptick, right? You break through this area we've been shopping around at for about a month. You do it with volume. Now we're coming into the lows of November for Robinhood. Yeah, lows in the market, about 65.50. As in, so quickly some of the leaders make it back to where we were in November, and the market's not even close. S&P's got a good 300 points if we get back to that price level. Salesforce slightly in the red. That stock's been under pressure. Palantir off by 2.3% right now. GM off by 2.3%. Quite a darling. GE off by 1.2%. Jump over to Tesla, up by 2.4%. We keep our eye on metals. Look at this daily on gold. It's only $9.45, and you're going to get some volume. Hey, it's not often that you have the President of the United States, okay, coming out and telling that he's going to tax everybody if we don't get to take over the countries that we want. Didn't see that one coming. Probably should have. I kid half-wittingly. But yeah, you better believe that that type of instability is going to put a bid in metals. You got dollars trading lower, yields trading lower as well. And, you know, what I don't understand most, the Secretary of Treasury, Basil, was out this weekend, and he's saying that in order to avoid a conflict where we get brought into this conflict, right, that China and Russia are going to go after Greenland for the importance of Greenland, for all those reasons, right? So, in essence, he's saying it's not fair that we're going to have to go in and defend them. Anyway, why don't we just take control since we're going to be the ones that are responsible and we want to avoid war? So give us control, and that way China and Russia won't attack you, and then we'll get pulled into war. If we control the territory, we'll make sure that they don't go in, and this is all about preventing war. That's what the Treasury Secretary was saying. And then the last part is that, and we are going to avoid a war by threatening to invade Greenland and start a war. Now, if the tariffs weren't into it, it would be a completely different scenario, okay? The president has his aspirations, he has his reasons, and you better believe that it's important, right? Whether it comes from a geopolitical standpoint, whether it comes from a geographical standpoint, geopolitical, geographical, or just the minerals that are contained there, okay? But I bring it up because how does this uncertainty end if the basis for starting a war to take over a territory is that you're only doing it to avoid a war? And you're going to apply tariffs on all of our allies until the whole world agrees that we can take over the territory we want. You better believe that we might be in this might be nothing compared to a bubble if that is actually the methodology playing out. We'll see how it plays out, but that's what's going on, and don't underestimate it, man. Now, the thing about this is that now we're trading, and it's not meme stocks, folks, okay? But when you're trading on this type of stuff, man, it's very difficult to put fundamental values on things when those types of calculations are trying to get made in terms of the legitimacy of that argument. How far is he going to take it? And is he really just going to tariff everybody if we can't take over the territory that we want at any time that we want? Because if that's the case, and I think the only reason the market's only down 1.4% is because of people who say don't take the president seriously, and for people who come out and say we're not going to invade Iran. But the president says that we're going to take it however we need to, the easy way, the hard way. And now we have tariffs in play. And that's where things get more real to the market. And you better believe it, man. You're seeing yields react. You're seeing the dollar react. And the unfortunate part, okay, is that we are right on the cusp of just getting a new Fed chair. President's going to get to pick his next Fed chair. He picked Powell. He wants to lock him up now. He gets to pick his next Fed chair. And, it sounds satirical, but it's not, folks. He's under federal indictment. And so we got some instability right now. And it's back in. And remarkably enough, we are in a bubblicious territory, but not hard to see why. When any weekend or any day, and hey, we're going to get Davos middle of the day. Okay? Middle of the day Davos. That'll provide some volatility tomorrow. Speaking of volatility, get the VIX right now. Backing off a bit at 1956. We'll come right back. One more segment, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps off by 96. Now, one of the things going on with yields right now is Japan as well. Okay, that's tying into things. You got yields over in Japan spiking dramatically. And, yeah, Treasury Secretary, he's in touch. We'll see how it plays out. But you got that Japan yield spiking well above 4%, up by 25 basis points. I mean, think about it. That'd be a mammoth move if that was in our markets, folks. Okay, for some context right now, our markets are up 5 basis points. Okay, the 10-year right now looks like it's spiking. We're up 5 basis points in Japan. Yeah, 25 basis points. Yeah, the biggest day since Liberation Day. Whew. Now, our yield, as I mentioned earlier in the program, 4.29. So you got the Treasury Secretary reaching out. He's attributing the slide in part to the spillover from Japan and played down the impact about the threat to Europe. But nonetheless, I mean, the Treasury Secretary is out there advocating for war to avoid a potential war. I don't get it. And, hey, Everything gets political, but this one's a new one, folks. And the fact that he puts it out there that the rationale is he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, and so he's not interested in peace, so he wants Denmark, and he's going to tax everybody until Denmark gives him Greenland. What's Greenland, right? Pay attention to this market, man. Okay, you think this is a lot. We got some volatility right now. 98.57. You got Chairman Powell showing up to the Supreme Court tomorrow. And yeah, I imagine we get that new name in the next couple weeks. And we'll see if the market can shift to that new name, because we got a lot of volatility. Unfortunately, this is going to prevent a nice, easy transition where you get the new Fed chair and the market starts paying attention to what they think. Got a few obstacles ahead of where the market is before they start pricing in the new Fed chair. VIX, 1965. We back off a bit. Yeah, how about Walmart, man? Ooh, we give it up a bit. Okay, Walmart, but I agree. Walmart, when it comes to savings, man, there's my Walmart spiel, Darth, if you're out there, man. Can't beat it in terms of the savings at Walmart. They just crush it, man. Sam's, it's just the monumental difference in prices right now. Walmart just eating up market share, no matter where you are on the income spectrum. Folks, thanks so much for kicking off your week right here. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman's coming up next. Live programming all day. I'll see you.